Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Sip and Study. Sip and Study. I hope y'all week has went well. If it has not, then where do you need to make some changes? Right? If your week was crazy, and you had too much stuff to do and not enough time to do it, then we need to manage our time a little bit better. We need to use the word no a little more often, right? Your life is what you make it. There's a lot of things that stress us out. There's a lot of things that keep us bogged down in our minds that we have to prioritize constantly. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to fill yourself up first so that you can be all that you need to be for everybody else that God has assigned to you. Now, if God didn't assign them to you, you have to release them in love. Okay? You have to release them in love if God didn't assign them to you. All right. But welcome to our sip and study. I'm so excited. So what am I sipping? Mugwort and white willow tea bark, white willow bark tea, mugwort and white willow bark tea. Now, mugwort, it supports your menstrual cramps, your menstrual cycle. It helps with gastrointestinal issues. It's also a diaphoretic, so it induces perspiration if you have a fever. You can use mugwort. It's like a vaginal steam. It's absolutely amazing. I do offer those. But you can also make it as a tea and drink it for internal use as well. Now, the white willow bark, I swear by it, y'all. It is absolutely amazing. It's great for any type of pain, cramping pain, joint pain. It has a compound called Selicin. Selicin is also in aspirin, but it's more potent than aspirin. You can actually chew the bark and get the same benefits. It's absolutely amazing. Um, and when you put mugwort and white willow together, it has synergy. Remember, we talked about that. So they're great separately, individually, but they're a force when they're together, right? And so it's absolutely amazing. I was in a little pain today. Um, so it knocked that pain right out the park. I'm not feeling nothing. I feel great. So I'll be sipping on this. You can drink it warm or cold. You can fix it ahead of time, put it in the refrigerator. And that's usually what I do with it being hot. I make my tea, I put it in the refrigerator. It don't last too long in my household, so I gotta make it regularly. Um, but it's awesome. Or you can drink it warm if that's what you want to do. However you want to do it. I had some soursop lemonades this weekend at the West End Farmers Market. When I tell y'all, sold out. They loved it. They had the leaves in there. Next time we'll put some slices of lemon in there too. I just love what I do. Um, but so last week we got into what are herbs, right? What are herbs? What are they used for? Different uses in the Bible that they talk about, herbal actions. So this week we're gonna do a little something different. We're gonna apply what we've been learning. Okay. I had to catch up on messages last night. That's why I was up so late. I had to catch up on messages last night that I had not seen. And people was asking me about different things, different ailments that they were dealing with, and different suggestions that I had to help. So I was like, hey, won't we, start talking about this during the sipping study? I give y'all a breakdown of how to look at your ailment, look at what's going on, what are the herbal actions that you need, what herbs fall up under those herbal actions, and how to use them. Right. So we just gonna something quick, nothing major, nothing too big, right? So we know what herbs are. We know that herbal actions are the verbs of herbalism. So herbal action tells you what this herb does. Now, every herb has multiple herbal actions. Okay, multiple herbal actions. So, depending on what you are in need of, if you're on medication, what your tissue state is, what your dosha state is. If I read your tongue, I'll be able to tell some other things as well. So all the herbs have multiple herbal actions. Not all herbs are going to be good for you. Okay. So you have to figure out what herbs are best for you. So when people reach out to me through DMs and messages, I give you the general. This is what's generally good for this particular ailment. It's not until you come into a one-on-one consultation with me where we can do a deep dive into your body's makeup, right? Because I read blood work and all of that as well. We can do a deep dive into your body makeup and see what herbs are best for you with this particular ailment. Okay. So keep that in mind as we're going through these classes. I'm giving you general. If you want more specific, if you want more personalized, we got to have a consultation because there's some things that I need to know in order to tell you, okay, this is what's going to work best for you. Okay. So today we're going to go over weight loss. Okay. Weight loss. Every time I talk to somebody, that's what they're talking about. Weight loss. How do I lose weight? What herb helps me lose weight? Right. So weight loss. So what do you want to do if you need weight loss? What do you need? Right? Do you know? Because a lot of people say, I just want to lose weight. Okay, but what is the process of losing weight? What is the process of losing weight? Now there's all kinds of things out there. Okay, we're gonna focus just on the herbal process because you got to eat certain things, you got to exercise, you got to watch your stress levels, all of that. But when it comes to herbs, we talk about herbal actions, right? What is the process of losing weight? Well, the first thing when you come talk to me, we need to boost your immune system. We need to boost your metabolism. We need to boost your metabolism. Okay, y'all know I got my notes. We need to boost your metabolism. We also need to aid your digestion system, right? Making sure that everything is flowing properly the way it's supposed to. And then we need to suppress your appetite. So it's three things that we're looking at: boosting your metabolism, suppressing your appetite, and aiding in your digestion. Okay. So, what herbal actions do we need to look for when we're looking at herbs? Okay. So, let's talk about it. So, boosting your metabolism. So, your metabolism is the process by which your body converts food into energy. We're not going to get into the food discussion because that'll take me down a rabbit hole, right? Because the food that you eat, some of it does not convert into energy. So you got to be careful with your intake, right? What you're drinking and what you're eating. But metabolism is a process in which your body converts food to energy. Calories are essentially a unit of energy, and the body uses them to power everything from breathing and circulation to physical activity. Okay, this is the ground floor of losing weight. Boosting your metabolism. Metabolism is the process of converting food into usable energy, and calories are the units of measurements for that energy. Higher metabolic rate means that your body burns more calories at rest and during activity. Okay. So, boosting your metabolism, the herbal action that boosts your metabolism is called thermogenic. Thermogenic. Okay. Thermogenic herbs increase your internal body temperature. Now, this is different from exercise. Okay. Because when you're exercising, you're using that energy. Okay. But raising your internal body temperature while you're not doing anything, right? It's going to naturally jumpstart your metabolism. It's going to raise it to a higher metabolic rate so that while you're at rest and during your activity, you're burning more calories. Okay. Now, what herbs fall under the thermogenic herbal action? So, warming herbs, which are herbs with like the spicy flavors, ginger, basil, cayenne pepper, turmeric with the black pepper. They're going to jumpstart they're going to raise your internal body temperature and jumpstart your metabolism so that you are burning more calories at rest and in activity. So that when you exercise, that's part of it. When you exercise, you're now burning even more calories. Okay. So you need to look for herbs that have a thermogenic property to them, which are usually are going to be warming type herbs. Now, here's a caution. If you deal with inflammation, especially chronic inflammation, if any part of your body is inflamed and when you touch it, it's warm to the touch, you do not want to take warming herbs. You do not want to take thermogenic herbs. Why? Because it's going to exacerbate your issues. It can make your inflammation worse. You put fire on fire, right? You don't want to do that. What you need is cooling herbs so it can help your body come back in balance. Because when you have inflammation, whether it's every so often or especially if it's chronic, there's an imbalance in your body. If you put warming herbs on top of your already high internal temperature, you are going to make things worse. So when you come to me and say, hey, I need something for weight loss, but I clearly see that you're dealing with any type of inflammation, I'm going to tell you that we need a consultation because we need to address the inflammation first. The great thing is by addressing the inflammation, by helping your body come back into balance, it will naturally boost your metabolic rate because inflammation distorts your metabolism. It can't work properly because your body is out of balance. So nothing is working properly within your body, nothing. So when we work on inflammation, we get that down for a consistent period of time. Then if you need, because you may not even need any herbs for to lose weight because your metabolic rate might be fine and you start losing the weight, right? But if you need assistance and we have your inflammation in check and your body is not warm to the touch, and there'll be some other things that I look at, then we can look at thermogenic herbs and warming herbs. But if you have inflammation, you do not want thermogenic or warming herbs. It's going to make your symptoms worse. Okay. So I had to put that in there because a lot of people are dealing with inflammation. And that's usually where the weight gain is coming from. It's from the inflammation. If you get your inflammation in check, then your metabolism can go back to normal. And then we'll see where you at on the spectrum. If you need something, I got you, but a lot of times you might not. Okay. Okay. So boosting your metabolism is number one if you don't have any inflammation. Okay. Number two, we have to suppress your appetite. Okay. So you want that satiety feeling, right? That feeling of fullness for longer period of times. So what herbal action do you need to suppress your appetite? It's called anuretic. Anuretic, ANORECTIC, anuretic. It refers to a substance or agent, in this case an herb, that suppresses the appetite and reduces food intake. Okay? Now, how this works is that it affects the central nervous system. It influences neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which play a crucial role in appetite control, the feel-good feeling, right? It also stimulates the gastrointestinal system. Certain compounds, like fiber, can affect the body's signals to the brain that regulate appetite. So increasing your fiber in your regular food intake is going to help you with weight loss. Okay. We also have a herb that helps with that. It's called psyllium and it's high in fiber. So it also helps people who deal with hemorrhoids and stuff like that as well. Now, the anuretics also influence appetite hormones like leptin, which is an appetite suppressant, and then ghrelin, which is an appetite stimulant. Right? So what herbs fall under the anuretic herb category. But you have fenugreek, you have green tea, you have gymnema. Gymnema is absolutely amazing. We carry that. That is for sugar addiction. If you crave sugar all the time, and y'all will see, y'all, sugar is worse than cigarettes. I'm telling you, it's so highly addictive. It's so highly addictive. Processed sugar is absolutely horrible for you. Okay. I know we like it. I know it tastes good. I know that's what we do, but it's absolutely horrible. Cane sugar, natural sugar, is made with minerals and vitamins and all the good stuff. When it's processed, it takes all the good stuff out and leaves the bad stuff, which is very addictive, and it affects your neurotransmitters, the serotonin and dopamine. That's where the addiction comes from. Okay. And so then you crave it. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. With Gymnema, it stops that craving in its tracks. I had a customer who was like, I love me some honey buns. And okay. And they had diabetes. Here, take this. Gave her some Gymnema. They called me and was like, I can't even eat my honey bun. I threw it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you was trying to force it. Your body said no. We turned off that part of your brain. No. It is so, it's just amazing how God works, right? Because Gymnema has been around since the beginning of time. He knew that we was going to need something that helps us with sugar addiction, right? Gymnema is absolutely amazing. Psyllium, which I just talked about, is another anuretic herb. Okay. And then ginger. Now, I swear by ginger. I use ginger for everything. Let me tell you. Ginger, turmeric, I use for everything. It is the best well-kept secret ever. Ever. They're both warming herbs. So, and for me, I have a damp stagnation tissue state, which means my body holds moisture. I have asthma. So mucus, I have allergies, I have sinuses, all of that stuff, right? Our first herbal class, I'm showing you how to make teas for sinuses, allergies, and asthma. So I need warming herbs to dry up the moisture, the mucus, all of that in my system. So ginger, turmeric, when I tell y'all, I stay on them, okay? And it helps me breathe better. It helps reduce my shortness of breath. It helps with my cough. Absolutely amazing, okay? So boosting your immune system, you need not your immune system, your metabolism. Boosting your metabolism, you need what? Thermogenic herbs. Also, they fall in line with the warming herbs, right? Suppressing your appetite. What herbal action do you need? You need an anuretic. Okay. The last thing that we're going to do is aid in your digestion. I don't know how many people I talk to who don't poop every day. Okay. And every other day, a couple times a week. That is not good. Okay. Especially if you're not eating what you're supposed to be eating. Okay. You have to think about it. You're eating, and if it's not coming out, it's staying in your digestive tract, staying in your colon, it's staying there. The longer it stays there, it changes. It's not just go sit there chilling. It's changing. It's evolving. If there's anything in it that's not supposed to be, if it's parasites, a lot of us walking around with parasites that don't even know it. Parasites, which can cause all kinds of problems. We ain't gonna get into that. I'll go down my rabbit hole. But if you are not using the bathroom every day, then what you ate yesterday and the day before and the day before is all compacted in there. And whatever bad stuff is in there is still in your system, and it multiplies. The longer it's in there, the more it multiplies, right? So it's all in the lining of your digestive system. That's causing problems. It's causing a lot of problems. You need to be using the bathroom on a regular basis, getting this stuff out of your system. Okay? Now, Aiding digestion is important for weight loss because a healthy digestive system ensures efficient nutrient absorption, regulates the metabolism, and helps manage appetite. So we just talked about boosting the metabolism with the thermogenic herbs. We just talked about suppressing your appetite with the anuretic herbs. But aiding the digestion is going to help that whole process as well, right? So this is added support. Nutrient absorption, right? Your body absorbs the good stuff that you put in it. But if it's racked with illness and inflammation, because you're not going to the bathroom, so everything is stuck, and so everything is spreading, you're not absorbing what you need to be absorbing, right? You're making it more difficult for your body to heal itself. And that's when by the time you get to the doctor, you got all this stuff going on. Aiding in digestion contributes to effective calorie burning and fat loss. It helps to reduce bloating and overall health because you're not walking around with 5 pounds of poop in your digestive tract, right? So that's going to help you go feel a whole lot better after you go to the bathroom. That's how people do cleanses and detoxes. You got to keep your body moving and flowing. Nothing should be stuck or stagnant, okay? Inside or out. A healthy gut microbiome. Now, if you listen to my videos about the allergies, the sinuses, and the asthma, you're going to hear me say that all the time. Gut microbiome. Over 80% of your immune system lives inside of your gut. What you eat is so very important. I know we eat what we want to eat. We do what we can with what we got. I understand all of that. But you got to keep in mind that a healthy gut microbiome is extremely important. It could be the difference between having what everybody else in your family had and not. Because just because it runs in your family don't mean it has to run in you too, right? It stops with you because you're making a different decision. Like we have blood pressure issues, cholesterol issues, heart issues in my family, but my daughter will not have it because we're making different decisions now, right? Her allergies was awful at a point in time, and I started working on her gut microbiome, changing it, altering it with yogurts and different things like that. And of course with herbs too, but the main thing was what she was eating and what she was putting in her body. Because especially if you have allergies, there are certain foods that have histamine in it. Don't eat those foods if you already have allergies. It's going to make everything worse, right? Healthy gut microbiome is crucial in digestion, nutrient absorption, and even influencing your cravings. Those addictions. Oh, I got to have a pop. I got to have some ice cream. I got to have a pizza. We think it's what we want, but it starts up here. We got to detox. We got to aid in the digestive, getting stuff out of our system. Okay. So what herbal action do we need to aid digestion? Right? We need bitter herbs. We need bitter herbs. Now, they don't taste good. Let me just go ahead and tell you bitter herbs. And because that's what I need. I take mine in a capsule because the tea form is just too much for me, but it works. It works. But it's too bitter for me. Because you need a stimulant. When you aid in digestion, the herbal action that you need is stimulation. You need a stimulant. And so the bitter herbs stimulate digestive secretions, enhancing nutrient absorption, and helps bloating and nausea and even blood sugar control. I'm not going to get into that either because I go down my rabbit hole when it comes to this blood sugar and insulin resistance within the Black community. Sugar is not good for us, okay? It's not good for us. So bitter herbs may influence gut hormones that promote feelings of fullness, potentially aiding in weight management. So what herbs fall under the stimulation herbs, right? Dandelion, I love me some dandelion root tea. Burdock root, which is a liver and kidney cleanse. It helps you detox. Wormwood, which is good for killing parasites that may be in the lining of your digestive tract, right? And we offer all of these herbs that I'm talking about. So, quick process. I told you it wasn't gonna be that painful. So if you looking to aid in your weight loss, and you look at the DIY, right? Then what you're gonna need is something, an herb that's going to boost your metabolism, which is a thermogenic herbal action. You're gonna need an herb that is going to suppress your appetite, which is anuretic herbal action. And you're gonna need a stimulant in order to aid your digestion. These three together are going to help you with your weight loss. Help you. It's not going to do it for you. It's going to help you aid in your weight loss. If you want more particular, more personalized information, book a consultation. I love creating herbal products for people. That is like one of the things I just love to do. I can curate you your own personalized remedy, whether you want it in a tea or honey or capsules. Yeah, I could do all that. So let me know if that's what you want to do. Book a consultation and we'll go through this process. And I will go through this with you. And as well with our consultations, you'll also get the foods that are best for you, or the foods that stay away from. You also get exercises that will help you individually, because everybody has some sort of limitation. Right? Most people have some sort of limitation what you can and cannot do. So there, instead of saying, oh, I can't do it, there are other things or other ways that you could do this particular exercise, right? And then stress management. I'm always talking about stress and inflammation inside of my consultations, because stress and inflammation open the door to chronic illness. So if we could get those under control, then we can shut that door to chronic illness, get you in remission so that you can live your best life, right? But you have to be able to get the whole picture. Herbs is just one part of the picture. Okay. I love consultations, as you can tell. Because being able to get down and dirty with you. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the root of what's really going on so we can help you move forward is the most important thing for me. Right. Yes, I want you to support and buy herbs and all that good stuff. But on this other hand, I want you to actually do something, get something that you can continuously do, not a one and done. Right? Because I can help you get into remission. But if you don't continue to do the thing that got you into remission, you're going to be active in a flare up soon because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. So it's more, getting to the mindset of what's really going on up here. Is when we get and talk about stress and inflammation. There's a lot of things that we are stressing about, that we're worried about. So we need tools to be able to handle our stress. There are herbs that can help you lower your cortisol levels and all of that. But on the other side of it, what can you do for yourself? You might need to say no to some things, some people, some situations, some places, some experiences, right? You may need to prioritize self-care a little bit more because you can't pour from an empty cup. Okay. So book a consultation if you want any type of personalized one-on-one help with any type of ailment, with any type of chronic illness. I got you. But if you're trying to lose weight, you need herbs that are thermogenic, just going to boost your metabolism. You need herbs that are anuretic, which are going to suppress your appetite. And you need stimulant herbs to aid your digestion and get all that stuff out of your system. Okay. All right, so that is it for today's Sip and Study. If you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to send me a message, and I will see y'all next week.